Is it recording already?
Yep, it's going
Oh,
already.
it's been recording?
Yeah, the
So
whole
you
time.
have all of that on film?
Yeah,
I see.
that was actually probably better than what we're about to do.
Well, let's hope not.
Welcome back.
It's hot, be careful. Hello, this is Arthur and Godwin, and this is our channel, the Vitruvian Gentlemen, that we have started about, what, 6 months ago, a year ago?
It feels longer than 6 months.
Yeah, somewhere between 6 months and a year. And we thought, Godwin had the thought about the fact that this potentially, we used to think that this was our sort of lending a hand to the younger generation on how to grow up cool,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, because we have really important stuff to say.
I know, right? It's pretty arrogant. But you brought up a good point off camera that this perhaps maybe is conversations with the younger ourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
We're really just, which will still be helpful to the younger
Well,
generation.
I think that's why a lot of people go into counseling or working with young people in general is because usually they go through some sort of experience that they recognize that they needed some mentorship or help at that time, and that's what draws them into that profession.
Right.
Yeah.
So today the subject is going to be trends. And we've been calling all our episodes the psychology of, just because it kind of naturally boiled down to, we bounced a couple of different ideas, the meaning of art or masculinity, or
Right.
but we've settled on psychology of, because it's sort of, we kind of tear it up from very far peripheral distances. We don't just delve right into it, which would just be a 2-minute episode if we're just going to say the meaning of art. We kind of want to approach it from lots of different angles. What it means to person, what it means to as a creator of, let's say, art. So that's why we arrived at psychology.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, as a title, because we don't do that much promoting on the back end of art, and we literally, the psychology of art has 8 views as of this morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's a pretty
Making
sad.
it big.
Yeah, it's a really sad statistic, but it's perfectly. We're not doing this for viewership. We're not doing this for like numbers or whatever. So it's perfectly fine. If our 5 core viewers are fretting that we're gonna stop, I don't think we're stopping. We're gonna keep going, even if there is almost
Shout out to Justin Markey.
no, there's a couple of people that I know they're like hard, like persistent, consistent watchers.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe just to get our intrigue people just from the title, we should call, I don't know whether we're going to rename all of the previous episodes.
Yeah.
But maybe we should call them The Secret of.
Oh, yeah.
Because people love.
Hey, look, clickbait works. I've been doing a deep dive on YouTube for the past few months for my own business. And they say YouTube is not an entertainment platform. It's a click and watch platform. Meaning, look, the whole mechanism is you have to have a thumbnail that grabs the audience's attention, that they want to actually click on it, and then want to stick around for it. So, unfortunately or fortunately, clickbait does work, but you have to deliver on the clickbait too.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Otherwise, you just get one viewership,
Right.
and people will be pissed.
Yeah.
Leave you crappy comments.
Right,
And that's the
exactly.
end of that story.
Yeah.
Should we change the cover pages of all of our previous episodes? You think?
We could. Um, Thumbnails are a thing, you know.
Yeah.
So
All right, something to consider.
Something to
We're the reason I'm delving into this because we are talking about trends today, and I don't know, somehow it might relate.
excellent segue.
Yeah, I don't know whether it relates or not, but I am interested in getting more eyes on our videos, only because I want to make them better and more helpful, so that people can comment and tell us, I would like to see more of this, I would like to see more of that. So that's the only reason, just to improve our product. So anyway, trends. We can start by identifying what a trend is.
Okay.
According to, I didn't even look it up on a dictionary. So why don't you tell me what it means to you?
Oh,
Or I can start, I don't care.
why don't you start?
Okay, trend. So trends to me are just it's a selling tactic, a corporate selling tactic.
Yeah.
That's boom. That's it. That's the end of it. The interesting part about trends is not so much what it is, but I hope people do realize that that's what it is. Hope people don't think, although there is some aspect of artistic, what's in the air kind of aspect to what a trend is.
Yeah.
But nowadays, even that kind of stuff has been commodified, and it's been forecasted, and there's all this kind of like, it's a science now.
Well, I think
No longer
trends.
an art.
I think trends existed even before mass production and commercialization. So I think that's the root of what a trend is. So if we think like during the Victorian era, there were trends that were happening as a result of, oh, what is the Queen wearing today?
Yes,
Right? Yeah.
yes. Well, that would be that. So that's the aspect. That's the next aspect we're gonna discuss is dissemination of trends. But you tell me, what is a trend as far as you're concerned? To me, it's just it's I don't think there is that much of an artistic, somebody who has their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the collective thing.
Right.
So, and besides which, once it becomes a trend, even if someone does have their finger on the pulse and they're gonna produce, let's talk about clothes specifically, because you can be, music can be trending. Music definitely trends.
Right.
There's like, the Sex Pistols put out their first single, and all of a sudden there's 500 bands that sound just like them. So my train of thought had just broke. So there is, so the guy or the woman who designs the clothes, who feel what's in the air.
Yeah.
Let's say they're like, got their, finger on the pulse of America.
Yeah.
And they're like, that, whatever they're gonna produce, trends don't trend by definition to me is a mass consumed animal, and it starts small. So maybe the trend setter designer will do have that. It's not a social engineering thing. It's more, I have something is in the air. I feel like this is the wave of right now.
Yeah.
But they'll produce it'll be very small to start, and it's not a trend yet. It only becomes a trend when it's consumed on a massive scale.
Right.
And then it becomes
becomes on trend.
On trend, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
I feel like there's a status element to it, meaning the people that wear these things that are on trend, it's also kind of like a nod to other people who are kind of fixed on this
Sheeple attitude.
yeah, it kind of is. And then, but it's like there are people who are very focused on it, and then it crosses over to a mainstream, right? Because I'm just thinking,
So there
like
are levels.
I think there are levels.
There's the first
right,
level
there are the
where
early
it's small.
adopters, and then there are people who disseminate it. Like, we pick on leggings a lot, right? But in the very beginning, it was risque. It was like the first time we
Absolutely.
saw the leg, she has her ass fully out, and you could see all the contours of it. And then within 2 years, it was like everyone
Yeah.
had leggings. So there are people who, yeah, I mean, you broke it down. You have the people who invent it in the first place, who really are, they don't know that it's necessarily going to become a trend. Though it could. I mean, it depends on how much corporate backing they have, right?
As a matter of fact, I think the people who are the creators of what usually becomes a trend are probably diametrically opposed to it becoming a trend.
You see that a lot, I think, when you watch interviews with designers and whatnot, and then they will talk about the life that their creation has taken on, and yeah, oftentimes they will be at odds with where it has gone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the inventors of atomic power and
Right.
what people used it for.
Yeah, what's that famous quote? I am become death.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Oppenheimer, probably.
Quoting, what is it, Shiva?
Maybe.
Um,
Callie is the.
yeah, it could be. Well, let's continue.
All right, so define, so you still have to define what your idea, or you did a little bit, your idea of trend. You said there's a status-y aspect
I think there's
to
an
it.
element of it, right?
Okay, but go back, give me like a two-sentence definition, trend. Because for me,
Yeah.
what I said is it's a well, it took me a little bit to
Yeah.
figure it out. I didn't even realize, but it has to be a trend. In order for something to be a trend, it has to be a mass consumed product.
Yes.
So you can't have something trendy
Yeah.
that only like a handful of people are wearing.
Right.
So how do you
Yeah.
give me your 2 cents on the definition of? Can you add
Well,
anything to that, or you concur with what I said?
This whole phenomenon of the trend, it's like, what is it in humans that makes them as a group pick something up, right? And so I think it does come down to the status-y thing. I think, because I don't think, look, there are hundreds of different ways you could dress yourself and for it to look good. But a trend is when everyone chooses one.
Yes.
So there's something in the person, in the human, that makes them want to choose that one and want to share the same sort of presentation as other people. And so I think it is a thing, a drive towards status in us.
I don't know
It's
why
a kind of, it's an indication of me being in an in group.
That's different than status. Status to me is actually wanting to be outside of a group, or at least belong to a group that's very small. It's a group. The status. It's a group that can't. Only I can afford a Bugatti.
Okay.
And it's status.
The
now.
word status itself has this connotation that says I am somehow elevated
or
above.
I've priced myself out
Right.
from the masses.
When I use status, it does not have those connotations.
Okay.
By status I mean it's an in-group membership. It's a signal that I am part of this club.
Oh, so that's completely not what I thought it means. And to me, uh,
Like
it's
membership status. That's what I mean by
membership
status. Yeah.
status. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you that it is indeed you were trying to figure out what
Yeah.
is it that makes humans want to dress like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I think it is the majority of the people out there. I don't know whether it was like that back in the day, but the majority of people out there today, judging by what we see in one of the most fashion-forward cities in the world,
Yeah.
living here and looking at what's on the streets, people are more interested in looking like other people. They
Yeah.
want to be. It's like the same thing as uniforms.
You know, our celebrities and stars these days, they're not dressing up like they used to, like in the 70s and 80s. They're dressing down. They're looking schlubby. And so I think that's what we're seeing among, regular people too. It's like going back to the Queen Victoria example, people want to dress like they're in proximity to these idols of the day. And the idols of today are,
Schlubby.
yeah, they're wearing hoodies, they're wearing baggy shorts, they're not putting on suits and wearing beautiful dresses.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is a subject we're going to discuss a little bit later. Let's keep going
Okay.
with what I'm interested in. What I think we should cover thoroughly right now is what is it that makes people. So we've concurred a trend is something that the masses have latched onto.
Yes.
And they want, and there's a consensus amongst the masses that this is a safe uniform
Yeah.
to be out there in.
Yeah.
And
And it doesn't have to be beautiful.
right.
It doesn't have to be beautiful. That's what I find so interesting about this. It really is a social phenomenon. It's not an aesthetic phenomenon.
Right.
Because you could dress beautifully and it not be on trend.
Right.
And if anything, you're actually standing apart from what everyone.
Well, today you definitely
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Because the suit has become a relic of the past.
Right. It's countercultural. It's the uniform of the past has become the counterculture to today.
Well, there's a lot of uniforms of the past.
Yeah.
But yes, people dressed better, if you will, in the past. So yeah, the past. So the trend today is, I hear it all the time with my customers, comfort.
Yeah.
And that comes in the guise of ill-fitting clothes. So there's comfort. People are after comfort, although I don't know how leggings are comfortable.
Yeah.
Although people do say leggings are comfortable, but I can't see how they could be
Well,
comfortable.
they're very stretchy. So
I guess,
that
but
helps.
you're still,
Right.
you've been sausaged in.
Yeah.
So the phenomenon, so it's I like that it's not an aesthetic movement, it's a social
Yeah. Yeah.
movement. So we've gone away. So we've gone away from aesthetics, which is that's a terrible affliction on the human population. If aesthetics are no longer important to you, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you're getting dressed,
Yeah.
aesthetics are not an issue anymore.
Yeah.
You're now looking at, like I said, it's comfort. What else are they looking for when they're dressing like that? They're just literally just following trends. They're not thinking for themselves. They're just wearing what they saw a celebrity wear in a video. So, I mean, I would love to sit and dissect this, why people are okay with really not thinking for themselves.
I think this is the soapbox we can't help but get on in every episode.
I know. I feel like we've touched on this, and we figured, and I think the coffin that we've laid this to rest into is the fact that humans today are not, the majority of humans today
Yeah.
are not interested in being individuals. They're more interested in being part of to me, it's a herd, but we'll say, we can be a little nice and call it a club
Yeah.
or whatever.
I think it's always been true, and I think it's like when you're climbing a snowy mountain, right? It's the person in front that is breaking trail that works the hardest,
Right.
and everyone else behind them follows, and it's really hard work to do that. And so
So you're saying people are lazy as well. It's
I
part
don't-
of, it's part of it is laziness.
I don't think it's just laziness. I think there's a part of it is a self-confidence, knowing, can I actually pull this off or
Oh,
not?
do you want to be a trailblazer?
Right, yeah.
You have a lot of responsibility. You're going to
It's-
say, we're going that way, not that way.
Right. And if you go the wrong way, everyone behind you,
Could fall off a cliff.
they could fall off a cliff. Not only that, if you get it wrong, people could chew you out and demote you and even kick you out.
Right.
So I don't think it is for everyone to be a trailbreaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, once again, I
Yeah.
think we did put it to rest. I guess the thing that I am baffled by is that the two camps, it used to be, well, we're talking in Williamsburg. I've been
Yeah.
in Williamsburg, a resident of Williamsburg since 1993.
Yeah.
Let's say, and I watched the waves of people come in, and I watched what I see on the street,
Yeah.
and the camps literally has switched. It used to be that you would have the individuals.
Mm-hmm.
We'll separate them by individuals, and then what should we call the camp? The followers.
Normies.
Well, normies, it's followers. They're well, we used to call them hipsters
Yeah.
because hipsters chase trends.
Yeah, they were hip to a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they'll chase the
Right.
trend, and the minute the minute the trucker cap is no longer cool,
Yeah.
they'll put on a top hat if that's what the trend is. They have there's no roots to anything they do.
Yeah.
They'll
empty vessels for whatever is on trend.
Yes, and the capitalist garment industry wants that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it wants.
But then how do you square that with the fact that thrift shops have become so popular?
I think it's part of the green movement.
Oh, the green cabal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just they think it's cool. Maybe there's a little bit of the aesthetic
Yeah.
aspect to it.
Yeah.
That you're gonna find some weird thing that's not gonna be on the racks anywhere else, and you could put together some weird outfit,
Yeah.
putting pieces together like that. There's probably a little bit of that. I think most of it is it's a trend.
Yeah.
It's just another trend that you can say, oh, I thrifted this, meaning you didn't go and you didn't support a modern designer or a modern corporation. You have bought something that would have been thrown away into the garbage, but you're bringing it back,
Yeah.
and you're not contributing to the bulk of the stuff being made. But that means you're not supporting new designers, and future generations are not going to have your thrifted clothes. So if you're I'm an avid vintage clothes wearer. My reasoning is because it's higher quality.
Yeah.
At a much cheaper price. You can get similar quality clothes nowadays as back in the day,
but it's very expensive.
It'll just be you have to go to the top end designers
Yeah.
to get what medium level designers used to do. So that's my reason. For me, it's always quality. I'm always looking for quality pieces, whether it's fabric, whether it's construction, whether it's design. I think the modern thrifting person is just looking. It's like a costume. They're not looking for quality. They're just looking to sort of look different.
Yeah.
So I think, it's just a trend, but not for the right reasons. Again, it has a hipster mentality where this is cool now, but it doesn't have any roots. When I whether I'm wearing loafers, to me, there's a certain history behind it that when we're talking about, it's a nod.
Right.
Whenever you put something on, it's your communication to the world,
right,
of your knowledge, of your adherentship. Which club do you belong to?
What you're saying now reminds me, well, there's this part of the culture now is there's an opposition towards structure, period. Like, for example, socially, there's been a lot of this anti-patriarchy type thing.
Sure.
And so I think under that is this whole idea that structure, the way that society itself is structured and stratified, is evil. So that those old forms of dressing, when you put on a suit and tie and went into work, that was an expression of structure. And so the way that people are dressing schlubby these days is also a kind of opposition to that.
Right. Yeah, I can see it.
So, but what I find really, if you really want to be countercultural now, is exactly what you said. Is like when you put on a pair of loafers, or say a Burberry trench, you're actually going back to that structure in a way. What I mean by that is you are attaching yourself to a history. You are saying that I am standing on this history now instead of rejecting it.
I don't look at it that way. It doesn't have to. Yes, it could be interpreted that way.
It does. You might not look at it that way, but I do. Like when I put on a suit, I feel like I am attaching myself to this conversation that has been happening over time. And it is, in a way, I am, in a way, rejecting this schlubbiness and this anti-structure stance.
Okay, so you're looking at clothes in a social aspect.
It's a social and kind of political as well.
Yeah, and I think attaching that kind of stuff to your clothes, I don't think I think it's too much to attach that much weight to clothes. I think clothes should just be aesthetically pleasing. Like being political with your clothes, that's some crazy shit. I know it's subtle, and I know it's not. You're not like getting on the soapbox and screaming on the corner.
Yeah.
It's subtle, and yes, it is. I mean, even what I wear today, to me, this is my. What I'm going back to my Eastern European roots. And I am. I used to
With
hate
a tracksuit.
Tracksuit and loafers.
Yeah.
It has to be loafers.
Yeah.
Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
To wear loafers with a tracksuit.
Yeah.
You could never. You're not jogging in
Yeah.
any particular way.
Uh-huh.
So this is the outfit. This is the classic Euro trash outfit. And when I was younger and I was assimilating desperately into the American culture,
it.
I rejected it.
Okay, interesting.
And now I'm embracing
what you once rejected.
What I once rejected.
Right.
What I actually am.
Yeah.
I mean, I left Europe when I was 12, so it's not, but it's. So yes, there is a little bit.
Yeah, in everything that you just said, it's very personal, right? And you are making a statement by saying there was a time when you rejected where you came from.
Right.
And you are wearing that now today because you have come to terms with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, come to terms with it and really kind of embraced it and kind of having fun with it.
Right.
Silver loafers and a white tracksuit. It's a ridiculous outfit.
Yeah.
With my crazy Eddie T-shirt. This is, this might be before your time, but this was a hi-fi store all over the tri-state area.
I've seen commercials on YouTube of Crazy Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a hard fall because some unscrupulous business dealings, but it was kind of it's a very enigmatic for me image of an era. I also have a Fun House T-shirt that I made, and that was a really key club that a lot of Brooklynites went to, and they actually invented a particular dance in that club. And I never went because it was before my time, but it's same kind of. It's a nod. I actually wore it to Randazzo's, the T-shirt, the other day. Have you ever been?
No.
It's a seafood restaurant on Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah.
And we sat down, ordered our clam chowder, and T-shirt was right there. And a gentleman, probably my age, was like, "That's a great T-shirt."
Yeah.
And we're came from the same generation and from Brooklyn, so it was, we that's the club we belong to.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are roots. This is all about roots. When you're taking a trend, and you look one way. I mean, I changed. I look different. I can dress like that, be my little country boy's self as well.
Yeah.
Because I've embraced my American roots as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for me, this whole Western aesthetic partially stems from because I'm sick of this city, And so at first it was because, sometimes I need to work out in the elements and I wanted my hands free. So I started with the hat.
Okay.
I wanted to keep the rain or snow off of me. And then it just grew from there.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's the whole mythology of the American West.
Yeah.
Everything about it, even though potentially there are some, conversations about the fact that our history is completely different from what has been presented to us in Western movies and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole other topic. All right, so we've discussed what a trend is. We've discussed who follows trends and why. We kind of.
I think you and I still are affected by trends in some way, because I think we use trends as a backdrop, as a relief against what we wear, right?
For me, of course, whatever the trend is,
Yeah.
it does not come out of my closet.
When they go left, I go right.
Exactly.
I feel like that's. We like this Groucho Marx quote, I don't want to be a club. I don't want to be a member of any club that would have me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my cowboy boots stay in my closet,
Right.
For now, until that's over in the mainstream. So I think so so the people who follow trends are basically just mass consumers. They're consumers of, this is people who have no problem eating McDonald's, even though they know how bad it is for you, but they want the status.
Well, they might be the same. McDonald's is not in anymore, right?
I beg to differ. I see kids, because when I walk to work,
Yeah.
I pass by a McDonald's in the morning, and I see all these school kids. They still go in there and they get their little whatever the hell they get.
Yeah.
And they come out with their little McDonald's bag and walk to work, walk to school. So I think, maybe it's not as cool as you, but the kids, they're fully in there still. At least the kids right here. So and America is the guiltiest party of this. As much as I love capitalistic tendencies, because we're both small business owners,
Right.
and we like the opportunities that capitalism presents to people like us. But once it gets so big, where corporations basically rule the lay of the land,
Right.
It's very hard for the small guys to start and to thrive. There's a corporate tailor that's moved into my neighborhood.
We could extend this fashion and style analogy to work and business, right? There are obviously many more employees than there are business owners.
Yes.
And so the business owners, if we were to continue that analogy, are the people who dress for themselves, who dress themselves as individual expression, and the people who work, who are the employees, are the people
have to wear a uniform.
Yeah, who are on trend.
Well, that's, if you work, let's say you work for even McDonald's, they have a uniform. So I don't know whether they're on trend. They're more like...
Well, what I'm trying to get towards is, what is the difference in mindset between the business owner and the employee? It takes a lot of gumption to say, I want to build something for myself in the hopes that I will one day be able to survive off of this, if not thrive. And then there's the other person who says, no, that's a little too much for me. I'd rather take
a small paycheck every week and never have the where it's going to be this for the rest of my life.
I'd rather outsource it to somebody else. All those the questions of whether this business will survive.
The risks.
Right, the risks. Yeah, yeah. Which
It's
is
the risks
yeah.
that they don't want to take
Right,
on.
yeah. Because when I clock out, I want to be able to go home and lay my head down and not think about these things. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If anything, it's a recognition of your own limitations.
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, the analogy is good. It is a business owner who starts his own business, and the person who sets the trend is the same mentality.
yeah, they're the people breaking the path.
Yeah.
You know, all the employees behind me, they could follow.
Yeah.
But-
and they'll go
Yeah.
wherever you lead.
Yeah. Until they want out. You know,
Until the path.
until
gets-
they don't like where they're going, and then they find some other
Right.
person to follow in the footsteps of.
Yeah. So yeah, so there it is. So the trends, the trend followers and the trend setters are there's the mentality. There's the difference in mentality.
Yeah.
They don't want to take the trend followers don't want to take the risk
Yeah.
of sticking out and going out on a limb, and the trendsetters, especially, I don't want to. I'm not going. I'm not calling myself a trendsetter, but what I will say about the way I dress is I do not want to look like everybody else who's out there. And to me, it's,
I don't think either of us are trendsetters.
yeah, we're not necessarily.
Right.
I think the only trend-setting thing about is the way we approach it is that the only concern for me when I put clothes on is my own satisfaction,
Yeah.
and I do not. I mean, the people who are following trends, they actually that's also a lot of work. They don't even read. It's when we said that it's a little lazy to be a trend follower versus trendsetter.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more work to be a trend follower than it is a trendsetter. Because a trendsetter, you're just minding your own mind, and whatever is happening in front of you or around you, it's not really work. It's actually fun for us. I assume it's fun for you to
Yeah.
put outfits together and
Yeah.
dress whatever you're gonna wear. It's fun.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not work. But for trendsetters, if they don't get the right shoe or the right pant or the right hat or their outfit doesn't work and they're in agony. So it's actually more work to be a trend follower than a trendsetter.
Well, that's the price you pay for abdicating some of your own
Volition.
free will, volition. Yeah. Is that you're taking orders from the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's taking orders from the culture.
Yeah.
So you're not free. We just narrowed it down to the fact that the reason that we like to dress however we like to dress is because we like freedom.
Well, I think we both
Maybe the sheeple don't, the people who are okay with looking like everybody else don't want to be free.
I heard yesterday from somebody who read A Brave New World, I think, that most people would, given the choice between the two options, would choose the dystopia where they are given soma every day and they are relieved of anxiety and difficult emotions and choice. And I think in our American culture, a lot of us are taught to no, we need to be individualistic and we reject all that.
That's
But
the cornerstone of America.
when people are off camera, I think we would be surprised by how many people would actually choose to be relieved of those difficult feelings, and having to exercise free will and choice.
Okay, before we put this to rest,
Yeah.
the last question about this, and we'll move on to the ways of dissemination of
Yeah.
trends, which is I think is gonna be fun for both of us.
Okay, let's do it.
So the question is, so you just said the people prefer sort of like be relieved of all the difficult things of being a human, basically.
Yeah.
They would rather just take the pill and take the marching orders. So relieve themselves of one of the most basic human, the aspect that makes us human,
Yeah.
and they're willing to give it up
Yeah.
so that they can look like wait, where am I going with this? So that they can look like everyone else, but that's not crap. I had one other little avenue to go down on with this, but I think I just lost it, so maybe we'll just move on. Yeah, I was just gonna one more time wonder why one would want to give up.
Yeah.
And
There's this thing in, they call it attachment theory, and it's gonna seem like I'm going in an opposite direction, but I'll bring it back.
okay.
The way that couples attach, there is what they call, there's anxious attachment, and then there is,
Like
geez.
excitement attachment.
No. I might have to edit this part.
No, don't be editing anything.
There's
We don't have time
anxious.
for that.
Anxious.
The
Okay.
fact that they say that opposites attract, does that help you at all?
It is opposites. I'm just trying to remember the exact names, but I'll break it down this way instead. There are people who think that the world is big and that they are small. And so they will always need to appeal to authorities or powers or figures outside of themselves to relieve their internal conditions. Okay? The world is big, I am small. There are other people who are saying, I am the only person that I can rely upon, and that nothing out there is dependable. I cannot count on anyone else for anything. Okay.
I'm definitely in the second camp.
Okay, so this is why I feel like our conversations always go in one direction, because we're both the same.
Right.
So we might need to bring in somebody else who is from that other camp in order to, shed some light on
Right.
some areas that we're missing. So if you take that sort of mentality, that
Which,
sort of
the
way
first one or the second one?
both,
Okay.
and then apply it to, say, how we dress for ourselves, right? The trends are big, and I cannot trust my own sense of aesthetics and fashion. You are the former, right? The world is big, I am small. So it is better that I ally myself with those big trends,
Okay.
Or it's like, if you're in the second camp, these trends are changing all the time and everyone's wearing the same thing. I don't trust their judgment more than my own. Like, look at the shit that they're wearing. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
So those are the ways that I think people polarize into the different camps. And I think it's true of politics as well. or your belief in different economic systems. I need a big
Brother.
I need a big brother because I am small. I cannot fight for my own rights. I need to outsource or abdicate my free will to a larger political movement. I need somebody to fight the corporations for me. Or, no, I believe in free markets. I trust my ability to make it in the free markets more than I'm able to trust that this big political movement is going to look out for my interests.
Right.
Right. So I see this time and time again that, you know, even though the way we dress and these political movements, there's actually, if you're a member of one type of political movement, you tend to dress in a certain way as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's
all
a mentality.
It's all coming from the same mentality. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. In that way, they're connected.
Yeah, this is great. That's a great visual for people to look at and to understand how people work.
Yeah.
Why, what makes them do what they do. Okay.
Anxious and avoidant. Those are the two different attachment styles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anxious and devoidant?
And avoidant.
Avoidant.
Yeah. So anxious means it's like you keep on wanting to cling to your parents, right?
Okay.
That's the anxious child.
Okay.
The avoidant child holds them away.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be on my own.
Right.
You've nurtured me to maturity where I can stand on my own 2 feet. Now I will make.
No, it's what you're talking about is something in the middle, which is more healthy. But avoidant means like, I needed you in the past, and I found out you are not reliable. And so that's why I am pushing you away. Yeah. Something in the middle is, I forget the name for that too, but it is what you just described, which is, it's a little bit of both. You're able to trust your parents. So what you said was, you nurtured me to a certain age, and now I can stand on my own. So that's healthy.
Yeah.
You're able to do both. So anxious or avoidant means you're only able to do one mode.
Okay.
It's like,
So neither one of those is good.
No, somewhere in the middle is the best.
Which is true of so many things.
Yeah.
All right. So you've sat through this sort of what possibly could have been mundane to everyone, but now we get to the fun part.
Okay.
The dissemination of trends. And we'll start way back in the beginnings of history. And as we know, it was always royalty that set the trends. And everybody just trickled down. You want another coffee?
No, I'm good.
Imagine that. One family set the trends for the whole world. That's kind of insane. And of course, they were perhaps the richest people in the world, so no one could ever afford what they can afford. So it was unattainable. But they used clothing as a the same way the church uses its lavish interiors to wow or subvert the their churchgoers. What are they called? Parishioners or I remember, the first time I went to St. Peter's in the Vatican, I was like, what? This is insane.
Very
all
lavish.
of this for religion?
Yeah.
It's like religion, and I was just a kid, and I knew that religion is not, it's not that complex. You know, you just do the right thing and
But it's
everything will be
time and
fine.
place, right? It was built when religion was everything. It's only with the hindsight that we have now, um, that we live post Enlightenment scientific revolution, that we could see religion as this little thing. But back then, that was the universe.
Um, I understand that it's the universe and it ruled. It was a tremendous political power. Yes.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the religion as a concept, you can literally describe it in like 5 sentences what it is.
How do you
The,
describe
the
it?
ten the Ten Commandments.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your religion right there.
Yeah.
You don't need all the pomp and circumstance, and yet they used it. Well, we're going away from so dissemination. So
Yeah.
it went from the crown would be, and even within the royal families of Europe, there would be the trendsetters,
Yeah.
the clothing trendsetters. Usually English, I guess.
Yeah.
It was always like England was the center.
England, France.
Yeah, maybe the French. I don't know any French monarchs that were like trendsetters. The English, we
Yeah.
know the Duke of Windsor was definitely
Yeah.
at the top in a modern age. I don't know too
Right.
much about like prior to him,
Yeah.
but I remember there was some before him as well, some of his predecessors. So okay, so trends get disseminated by the crown, and then it trickles down to the. Then I guess we can just go jump right into it. It worked like that, right up into maybe even past the Industrial Revolution,
Yeah.
and then the Industrial Revolution changed all that.
I think the Industrial Revolution changed everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it became the advertising world just
Right.
just took it upon themselves to
Because before the Industrial Revolution, it was artisans. And they were never able to produce in the volumes that they could dress and clothe everyone.
right.
But after the Industrial Revolution, that was possible.
Right.
And so the incentives to do mass marketing came along with that.
Yeah. So they had to overcome. That's a big hurdle to overcome. Everyone had their own tailor,
Yeah.
and everything was dictated by you, the individual. You can go in and say, "I just want the same suit as everybody else,"
Yeah.
but you had that. You were the one who mouthed those words.
Right.
But after the Industrial Revolution, that went out the window, and now you're subject to whatever is in the stores. You no longer go to your tailor. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that continued. You can even get suits made today still. But now you go to the stores, and then you can go. You can go. It's when the department stores hit.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. You can go in there, and in one place you would have, because it used to be you would have to, the underwear were made by one person.
Yeah.
The suit was made by another. The shirt maker, the shirt collars are made by different people. Your hats are made by. You go to the supermarket. Supermarket of clothes. You go to the department store.
Yeah.
And
But
all of a sudden you can just get a whole outfit in one day.
I feel like we've reached the apex of that, and we're actually a bit beyond it. Because 20, 30 years ago, we all had cable television. And that was how we got our connection to mainstream culture. But with social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, now again, the number of people that are able to put out content is no longer just the big studios
Yeah.
and news channels. And
So
so I
it's
think
been fragmented a
it's
little?
refragmenting. Because I heard that YouTube has outpaced Netflix in terms of what people are watching at home on their TVs.
Wow.
People are watching more YouTube on their TVs than anything else.
Wow.
So there is no monoculture on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Well, if
It's
it's
like
not,
we said, it's a click and watch platform. You get to click, you get to search and click on what you want to watch. Exactly. Yeah. And so I think we'll see something interesting over these next few decades where, I mean, it might be good from our perspective in terms of what we were talking about before. We want people to dress more
individualistic.
yeah, as to be more creative in their individual expression, and I think maybe we'll see more of that
Let's hope.
as these subcultures begin to reemerge. You know,
And here we are on YouTube,
right?
helping
Very meta.
a helping hand
Right.
towards that end.
Yeah.
All right, so you get the Industrial Revolution. The big corporations produce so much clothes, they need a way to sell it so that the consumers out there are okay with looking like each other.
Yeah.
Everybody wears blue jeans, everybody wears whatever shirts, and
Yeah.
so that was a big hurdle for them to overcome.
I'm thinking of the sack suit by Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
You know, that was everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a real uniform. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to somehow instill in people's minds that it's better to be like everyone else.
I think that was there from the beginning. They didn't have to get acclimated to that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think that's the general mindset of humans is you want to be, it's better to be part of a herd rather than,
I believe, I mean, if you just start with indigenous cultures, you were so in it because everyone dressed based on the materials that were available around them.
right?
So nature did that for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's individualistic, if you look at some of
Yes.
the costumes that
Right.
some of
Like
those
who was the
tribes
first
wear.
person to put a feather in their hair, right? Yeah. There is still room for individuality in there.
Yeah,
And I'm sure even within like a primitive setting, there are people who are like, oh, this person's really they've got an eye. Yeah.
the designer in,
Yeah.
in one of those cultures.
Yeah.
Well, their clothing is all handmade, so it's inadvertently it's gonna be different every time.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate.
Well, it is passed down over the generations as well. I'm sure there's some variation across time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to take a magnifying glass to how the Industrial Revolution managed. You're saying that the tendency to be like everybody else was already there,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering, was it? Did people? Was there ever? Did the masses always want to look like everybody else? Was it always the rebels that were? Is my attitude towards clothing and life, am I the outsider of the masses? Have I always, is it like, or has it ever been where the majority of the people were individuals as opposed to?
No, I don't think so, because I think we're social animals. But I think that for every 100 people that were born, there were always 5 that came out a little funky and marched to their own beat. I think that is the way that humans survived as a species.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The funky people pushed us into directions.
Well, the thing is, we can't have 100 funky people, because you need people that
I know what you're gonna say.
have followed the tried and true things that work, and then out of these 100 people, we could spare a few to do some wild ass experiments. But you can't have everyone doing experiments, because then you won't have enough people to procreate.
There's no, because you do need, now that I've gotten older, I just ran into a buddy of mine at the farmer's market, and who's a musician, and we keep running into each other at the farmer's market, and I'm like, Pat, because I'd known him for like 20, 25 years. He was in a band called The Liars. And I'm like, Pat, if I would tell you 20 years ago that we would be here running into each other, buying groceries at a farmer's market, you would probably have two shits. But here we are.
Yeah.
We're running into each other, and where am I going with this? God damn it.
We're getting old.
I know. You were talking about or not. We can have everybody be funky.
Right.
And what I was saying, where I was going with this, is that I now have a routine. Now that I'm older, I have a routine. And most people would probably think, oh, well, now your life sucks, because you now wake up at this hour.
Yeah.
You do the same exact 5 things in the morning.
Yeah.
Then you come to work and you do whatever you have to do at work. And then you go home and you make dinner and you go to sleep, and you repeat all over again. But having a routine, this is to go back to, even though I like the funky people, there is... I agree with you that you need in society, you need routines and things that work. You need to perpetuate things that work.
Yeah.
You can't just be a wild man and say, well, this bread that we've been making for 100 years is great. Everybody loves it. But you know what? I hate the fact that we've been eating the same bread for 100 years, and I'm going to try to change it. And people do try to improve on it, and sometimes they do. But the tried and true aspects of things that, they're makers. Levi's have been making jeans for 100 and change years. It's now they're, the corporate world has dictated for them to change certain things, but they were like amazing for 100 years, and you didn't need to like reinvent the wheel.
I know Levi's has this really storied past, and all the denim heads like worship at the altar of Levi's, but for that reason, I don't own a pair of Levi's. These are Lee's, and then the other pair of jeans that I like now are my Wranglers.
Right.
And I feel like I should own a pair of Levi's, but just going back to what we were saying earlier, it's because everyone worships Levi's that I don't want a pair of Levi's.
Yeah. The 3 brands, I guess it's Levi's, Wrangler, Lee. I feel like there was one more. But those 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Wrangler was the last one. Mm-hmm. And it was whatever. I'm not going to get into the history of jeans.
Let's get back on track.
It's very interesting, the history of jeans, and we can tear things apart. If people want us to get into like specifics, like jeans or varsity jackets or cowboy hats or leather jackets. I just started doing research on leather jackets because I started making leather jackets. Fascinating stuff. And each country, America had its own heritage of real motorcycle jackets, not the fashion ones. We have a heritage of the fashion leather jackets too,
I
which is
think that's a
amazing.
series that you should actually do, where if you take garments and deconstruct them, because I know you've been deconstructing and reconstructing them.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how I
because
learned.
people do that for shoes. There are some very popular channels that do that for shoes. If you do it for clothing and apparel, I think.
Oh, I don't know whether I would actually do a video on like tearing a jacket apart and then putting it back together.
I think when you're doing your personal projects, just take some time out to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
some
yeah.
video
We
out of
do
it.
make Chasing Taylor does have a couple of videos on Instagram that people can look at where I do some of the show people some basic, and all it is it's just to jumpstart some people's, if they have an inkling
Yeah.
to getting a sewing machine and just to start sewing, excuse me. Um, that's all that is. It's just it's what I'm showing people on Instagram. You're not going to be able to just jump into it and start doing that
Right.
necessarily, but hopefully it'll show people that it's, you can start, and you can, eventually you'll get to the point where you can do some complex stuff, um, but anyway, so after the Industrial Revolution, the corporations had to sell huge amounts of the same clothes to people who were not necessarily. So we're saying there was always. Oh, right. We're at a point where it's good to have. Not everybody has to be funky. It's good to have like sort of like
Yeah.
the gray people, so that the colorful people can actually stand out.
Young people call them NPCs.
What is that?
It's an acronym for non-player characters, but basically in video games you have
Oh yeah, I can
background
imagine.
characters
I
that
can
are
see
not
that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're background characters, because you walk down the street and you see like
Yeah.
a plethora of non.
Yeah.
I look at them and I'm like, I don't. They're just background.
Yeah.
They're the same as like the trees, and
Yeah.
although the trees sometimes are more interesting. But anyway, again, we sidetrack. What we were trying to get into is, how does an advertising agency take a product that will make you look the same as everybody else? You go to a pool party in suburbia, and everybody shops at the same mall, and every man there is potentially going to wear the same outfit.
Yeah.
And how do you sell that? But they don't have to try hard, because most people don't mind looking like everybody else. The majority.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're good on that. And then we were also going to talk about how products, the trends are disseminated through movies and music.
Yeah.
And, the leather jacket in Marlon, not Rebel Without a Cause, the Wild One, put Shot on the map.
Yeah.
The leather company from New York and then New Jersey.
SCHOTT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot Brothers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, movies are a big influence for me.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe we should get into like our personal
Yeah.
or I don't know how this speaks to the
Like what inspires us.
how this speaks to the trends issue,
Yeah.
but it's our personal trends.
Yeah.
Our trends in. Because like you never thought you would be wearing Western wear.
Oh no,
5
10 years ago, 10 years ago, no way. But I've always loved Westerns. Yeah. I've always been fascinated by the image of the lone man out in the desert who
Who can survive anything.
Going back to our talk about anxious and avoidant types, the person who was completely self-reliant and was able to navigate the treacherous desert on their own.
Yes,
I've
that's a
always
very
yeah.
that's a
I've always been
very
fascinated by that.
admirable character.
Yeah, yeah,
I love all of that. One of the reasons I love cars and motorcycles is because it gives you that
Freedom.
kind of freedom to
Yeah.
go out there and exercise this sort of being out there and dealing with whatever's thrown at you.
yeah.
It's
I love going on road trips. I love going to these small towns, seeing stuff that you would fly over by plane.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk to people and you
Yeah.
and you sort of try to discern, do you have more in common with them, or are you more different from them?
Yeah.
And just seeing their character, as far as I think we're all always drawn to people who are individuals,
Yeah.
like people who
Have something interesting to say, an interesting perspective.
yeah.
I mean, people that march by their own beat, they arrive at where they are because they've had to be thoughtful about which choices to make. And it's interesting. It's more interesting to hear people's entire thought process of how they arrive where they are than if it was received from broader
Right.
culture, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because
if
I remember there was this one time I was at a party and there was a girl who was a vegetarian and I asked her, "Oh, are you a vegetarian for health or ethical reasons?" And she just looked at me with this like really puzzled expression on her face.
She didn't know
She didn't know.
there
Like
was a difference.
it never occurred to her to ask that question. Or is that just a weird question to ask? But she had no response.
Wow.
And so,
So
it's like, well,
obviously-
where did it come from then?
Yeah, so-
Like, what made you want to be a vegetarian?
And
Yeah.
did she then?
No, there was no
Yeah,
answer.
'cause it was
We
given
moved
to her.
We moved on to the next topic.
So we should have what is it? So what would we call this? When your choices, where you relinquished the bulk of the choice making to an outside party.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What does that make you as a person? You're no longer. You're not really. You're not an individual. You're not like a snowflake.
You
that's
are a
different.
vessel.
Well, a vessel is a little, yes, and it can be filled with anything else. Yeah,
Right.
it's good. A vessel is good. But I feel like, well, I don't want to start any. I don't want to step on people's toes and be like, it's a negative thing, because, like we said, we need both.
We need them.
Yeah, we need both.
We need them.
So yeah, we'll just call them vessels versus. I mean, we're vessels too.
Yeah.
We just do our own.
Yeah, yeah.
We fill it with our own ideas.
We just discern a little more what we choose to receive from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't. Do we cover this? Is there anything else?
I think that's
you
good.
were actually about to start that.
Oh, movies.
were very a
Yeah.
big influence on you.
Yeah.
Movies were not a big influence on me.
No.
For me. It was more music.
Okay. Yeah.
I really loved. Yeah, the musicians, because movies.
Who were some of the big influences?
I don't think it was particularly like a style.
Yeah.
What I liked about them is that they had the freedom they to do whatever the hell they wanted, and
Yeah.
people would be like, He's Robert Plant. He can wear whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Okay.
So to me, it was I wanted that. I wanted that attitude. Not a musician, but I took that attitude from them. The
Yeah.
freedom, the carte blanche, the that I can guide my own
Yeah. Okay.
destiny and my own way of dressing and everything, no matter what I came up with, as outlandish as it is. Somehow, in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can do this. And I think the musicians gave me that
Yeah.
that kind of
Okay.
freedom.
Yeah.
For movies, they were fictional characters, so they were already. I was never. I'm not. I'm not a big fan of the novel, because then you're already relegating a little bit of your imagination to somebody else.
The novel.
The novel,
Like the book.
the book,
Book kind of novel.
yeah, not the
Yeah.
novel like novelty
Okay. Yeah.
object.
Yeah.
The novel, yeah, somebody else's story.
Yeah.
There are some great novels out there.
Yeah.
The imagination, when someone's imagination is really rich,
Right.
and
They push your own boundaries.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it just, well, what I admire about all art is it's not always the art itself, although a lot of times it is. It's the balls to take it there. It's
Yeah.
the balls to go against the grain of whatever is out there, or to just be, again, an individual.
Yeah.
And just take. And then there's also, I'm thinking about my favorite novel, which is Bulgakov's Master and Margarita. And the imagination that's in that novel, it's not even that thick. It's like a small little book.
Yeah.
But goddamn, he packs it in. And then he's got some other ones that are just like, holy shit. The ideas that are just. He has one novel, it's called The Dog's Heart.
Uh-huh.
And it's the doctor takes a dog's heart and he puts it into a human, or the human. Yeah, he takes a dog's heart
Yeah.
and puts it into a human because the human is going to die otherwise. And the human starts to take on
The
the
characteristics.
character of the dog.
Yeah.
He's like, I think that's the story. There's a really good movie version of it.
Yeah.
It's black and white and it's in Russian. There's also a great Master and Margarita movie. There's lots. Everybody had their hand on it. But there is a Russian one that's from the '80s.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Okay.
Really good. Costumes. The story is very like. I mean, the Russians always like. They do not deviate, no liberties. They try to stick as close to the original. They try to get inside the writer's head and really. So anyway, so yeah, for me it was musicians,
Yeah.
and for you it was movies.
Movies and shows.
Like TV shows.
Yeah. There's an image that's knocking around my mind now of like Miami Vice, and that's something I want to bring out this summer.
Okay. The rolled up sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. And also kind of looser, flowy kind of suits. A little drapier, which is also on trend now.
I know.
Yeah. But the thing about movies and shows is that they're shot cinematically, so that it's always very flattering. And those images just stick in my mind. Another is Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, the old British gangsters. Those
I know that
images.
movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. But it's those types of images that kind of leave an impression, and then that's kind of what I want to recreate.
Okay. So let's say the Miami Vice guys,
Yeah.
are you gonna take it wholesale, just like the whole look?
I'm tempted to. So a lot of times it's the jacket and the trousers are different colors. The shirt is a different color. The white guy, not his partner. His partner has the double breasted, so it's a little more buttoned up. Um, but yeah, I kind of just want to recreate that image,
Okay.
and then, I mean, after I wear it once, I might get some ideas of my own.
Right.
But it's not played out either. You don't really see it. But it's hard to find it, like those clothes, um, because they've been snatched up already. So I got this one off eBay. I'll see if it works. Yeah.
Well, my buddy Julian has
Yeah, I know.
plays down the block.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go there if you have time.
What's the name of the place again? We should probably shout it out.
Abreu on Grand Street. He doesn't need any help. That
Yeah.
place is packed all the time.
It was packed last time we went.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got the European, Italian primarily
Right.
suits. It's refreshing to see a men's only vintage
Yeah.
clothing store. So yeah, so he's doing very well.
Yeah.
Um, and I just bought 2 suits from him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you're about to see them.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. They're really cool.
Nice.
They're almost Miami Vice.
If not, I'll just have to get them made.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But he's got them.
I'll go check. I just feel like it's such a time investment to go to thrift stores and then not find anything
Oh,
that
come
fits you.
on, Jesus! You're just pedaling back here. You just
I know, so I just hop on eBay or Etsy.
yeah, but then there's a chance that you're not gonna get the size.
Right,
you
exactly,
want.
because you don't get to see it, in
Yeah,
person.
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, so should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, thanks
That
for
was
watching, Vitruvian Gentlemen. Please make some comments, spread it around, show it to your friends, and so we have a couple of more views. But please comment on the videos and let us know what you think, and give us ideas on next episodes. We have no idea what we're gonna do next. So thank you for watching. I'm Arthur.
Godwin. We'll see you in the next one.